You're tuned in to the Nerd Network Podcast.
You're watching the Nerd Network Podcast. I'm Marcy, your host, here with Blake and Kevin.
Hello. What's going on?
This is Christmas Day, okay? Just so you guys know, we're giving you content on Christmas Day. You won't get this till the day after Christmas, but we are recording this on Christmas. And the reason why we're here all three together today for Voltron is because we are giving you guys a Wonder Woman 1984 movie review. Just going to watch it on HBO Max. Yeah, that's what we're going to discuss today. Wonder Woman 1984. Sequel to the first Wonder Woman of the DCEU. I don't know if that's still a thing or not. But first of all, Blake, I'm going to let you go first and give your quick thoughts about it. I'm going to tell you how you're wrong.
Jeez, already? We haven't even discussed this off camera. I'm already wrong. Okay.
Go ahead. First thoughts overall.
Yeah, first thoughts overall. Yeah. It was surprisingly not a superhero movie to me.
Yeah.
And I don't, at this point, I'm going to say I'm undecided if that's a good or a bad thing. Strong love movie vibes, which I didn't really appreciate coming into this. Interesting, intermittent character development as far as Wonder Woman goes. As far as the story, I felt like I don't like attaching this to movies because I don't know what the original intention was, but I feel like it was a little choppy. Maybe a symptom of the pandemic of COVID. I don't know. I feel like if DC had been gaining momentum, this may have been a stumble. It wasn't a bad movie by any means. I don't feel like it was as strong as the first or as strong as some of the other recent DC movies, Aquaman, Shazam, especially.
Okay, that's one man's opinion. Among millions out there. Overall, real quick, Blake.
Yeah.
Between 1 and 10, what would you give this movie?
I'd give it a 6.
Okay. Cool. Kevin, your overall opinion about this movie. And we'll go into specific details. We will talk spoilers after we go around the table and give our specific opinions.
Well, like Blake, I believed it didn't feel like a Superman or a superhero movie, you know?
Yeah, totally.
But it did feel like an empowerment movie.
Yeah, it did.
Like, I felt like if I was a little girl, if I was, not even just a little girl, if I was someone that just saw her as this is a badass woman who not only can kick ass, but she's under the radar. You know, maybe that's who I am. Maybe that's, you know, the boys bully me on the playground.
Yeah.
And after this movie, you know, that gives me the empowerment. Maybe so much where, I mean, she did do some tricks and but when it comes to kicking ass and being a powerful, strong woman, I feel like this movie knocks on that door and it presses the right buttons and it hits all those check marks. But when it comes down to it, DC kind of slipped up on this one. They could have just shut down the game, but big stumble on them. I wish it was more. You know, the hype was not what I was expecting. I almost cried a couple of times. I'm not supposed to cry, you know. I'm supposed to like.
Yeah, totally. No, there's a couple moments in there where I was like, "Oh, that's very emotional."
Yeah.
No, for sure. What would you give between 1 and 10?
Probably like a 6.5, 7,
Okay.
just for that strong. I mean, if you want like some tearjerkers moments, some lovey-dovey moments, like I'm down for that. Like I'm cool with that.
Yeah. All right, so my unbiased opinion about this DC movie.
Unbiased.
Yeah, I actually give this movie a 7. I give it a 7. I give this movie a 7. This wasn't your typical superhero movie, or a lot of people are expecting when it comes to these type of movies in general. A lot more story and emotion that I did not think we were going to get in a superhero movie. I'm undecided if that's a good or bad thing. I do think it's a good thing because we don't do that. We don't get that when it comes to superhero movies. And seeing a little bit different side of Wonder Woman was really interesting. I don't want to go too much into detail on spoilers right now, but I mean, we see a different side of her. obviously, if you've seen the trailer, you know what's going on with Trevor coming back, and then seeing that kind of pick up a little bit. That was really interesting. The fact that she used her superpowers, but then didn't use her superpowers. We'll talk about it in that as well. The opening scene was really good. I thought really well done.
Incredible.
Still seeing more of that. Her universe, her world, was very interesting. The action scenes were amazing. I thought they were filmed differently. I felt like we were seeing a little bit things the way the camera angles. They're kind of what's the word I'm trying to say. There were things we don't typically see. I mean, you see the punch and the flying and the people flying around and stuff and whatever. Just a different the camera angles and different use of certain things were pretty cool in the movie. I might throw some clips up there to describe what I'm talking about. I thought that was really cool. The cast. Did you guys like the cast? Do you think people were okay in the roles that they were in?
Me personally, I was pleasantly surprised. Obviously, with the cast, I was a little unsure. We had some people that hadn't necessarily been in action-type movies before.
Talking about Kristen Wiig.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She impresses me every time she's on the screen.
Oh, she did really dang good, man.
Yeah.
A1.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
She's a lot of fun. She provides a spark of pop. Even playing a secondary role in this movie, she didn't. I don't feel like she overstepped her bounds by any means, but you definitely know she's in this movie. She definitely puts her spin on it. I thought that was a great casting.
No, she did a really good job. She definitely was a sleeper, man. She was definitely a sleeper. People slept on her, and her playing the bad guy, the powerful bad guy in this movie, or one of the powerful bad guys in the movie, was really cool. A lot of people were hating on the CGI as Cheetah.
Yeah.
What were you guys' thoughts on the CGI?
CGI could have been better, but
For her specifically, or about the whole movie?
just for her specifically.
Yeah.
Throughout the whole movie, I thought it was
That was
splendid.
Great.
With the action scenes, I thought it was awesome. Opening scene, heart pounding.
Right.
I was intrigued. I was captured.
Yeah, right off the jump.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But with the CGI I was expecting for Cheeto, it looked like Cats, the musical.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Yeah.
It's
It's just kind of hard, I feel like, to turn. I don't think I've ever seen someone turn into an animal and be a half animal, half human,
Right.
and like come off good CGI. Go ahead.
Yeah, I thought I was pleasantly surprised. Obviously, like you said, it's a tall task to do that and make it look good. When I look at CGI in that aspect, I look at it, is it distracting? And I didn't feel, she's moving quick as hell for the character that she is, but to me, it wasn't off-putting or distracting. I've seen worse. I wouldn't give the movie a knock for it from that aspect.
Like, no, it's just like I said before, it's just really hard to capture that unless you're using actual makeup effects to make someone look like that with the costume. But no, it was okay for what it is. I mean, someone being half person, half cheetah, it was okay. It wasn't that bad, and I'm just glad we didn't see the whole movie her like that, because I feel like that would throw me out.
Yeah, that would have been too much.
Yeah, that would have been way too much.
The shout out to the girl cast is young Diana.
Oh man,
Because goodness great. I know we touched on the opening scene, but good Lord.
Oh, she was great. Whoever
future star.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Dude, for just not only from an acting perspective, but how physically demanding that entire intro to the movie is. And then to be able to pull that off as a good actress. Shout out to her. I wouldn't mind seeing her hopefully as these movies progress, her to make other appearances, because she embodied what I envision a young Diana would be like.
No, it was great. Yeah, it was really well done. That beginning, that first 15 minutes of the movie definitely had me.
Yeah.
Like right away. You kind of felt that. So I gave it a 7. You give it a what?
I gave it I think I'm gonna give it a 5.5 officially.
Okay, you said 5.5. I said 7. And what did you give it, Kevin?
I think it's like 6.7, 6.5.
We're just gonna round that off to a 7.
Yeah. Or like,
Um,
can I shout out the wardrobe? Wardrobe was super
yeah.
nice.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
from the 80s vibe. From the 80s vibe to
the whole aesthetic.
everything.
The whole aesthetic of the whole movie of them the 80s. They captured everything perfectly.
Yeah.
Down to the camera stuff, to the way the mall was.
Yeah, that was one thing that was
The
really
mall.
surprising. They didn't just go take over a mall and change a couple of signs out. Like, I mean, I wasn't walking around in 1984, but from pictures and everything that I've seen, I felt like the 80s.
No, it was really well done. I mean, the way that the vans were painted, the news vans were painted was, oh my gosh. The details of the arcade was really interesting too. It was really good. The music choice was good. The neon stuff was pretty good. Everyone's attire was on point too as well.
I always pay attention to shoes when they go back in those. And the shoe game was on point.
No, it was really well done. They did their research on that. It was great. We're gonna go into spoilers now. So overall, we enjoyed the movie. Was it great? I don't think it was great. I thought it was good. A very low good for me. I don't know. I don't know if there was just too much. I am going to talk about how this did not really. Only reason why how this connected in the DCEU is the fact that this is part 2 of the first Wonder Woman, and this has nothing to do with the Justice League.
Yeah.
At all. Did that matter to you guys? Does that matter?
I mean, not to me, but they hyped it up to be.
Yeah. So for me, in the first, the first 3 quarters of the movie, no, and then I kind of got to thinking about it, and I felt like it could have been an opportunity to show what she had been doing for like the last 70 years. And then maybe, some other things, just brewing or going on in the background, her interacting with potentially other supers and other things going on. Not that they needed to bring the universe into this movie, but I almost felt like because we've already established her in the first movie, it was almost too singular, if that makes sense. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, it felt like this could have been the first Wonder Woman.
Maybe they put too much of the first seeing her on screen, Batman vs Superman. I mean, they gave her all the bells and whistles right then and there.
Right.
And I feel like that kind of cheated them out of this movie, jumping from that to that, and then obviously getting her first movie where we're learning a lot about her. I thought it was really cool seeing her use her invisibility powers, because like in the comic books, in the actual TV show, she had her flying invisible plane, which is really cool to see, because she's actually a pilot too. I'm surprised they didn't have her jump in the pilot seat.
Yeah, I feel like once it got to the pilot aspect of the movie, I don't know if we're going into spoilers yet, but and I'm sure we'll get back into Trevor. But they lost me there. Like the whole concept of how it works, I understand in the comic books, if you really think about it, it doesn't make sense. But I was disappointed with how that sequence played out, because
it was really fast.
Well, not only was it really fast,
but
it didn't make any sense. Like for her to invisibility power to work, but for the plane to still physically be in that space, like they were still pushing clouds, they were still moving through the air. Like the radar system would have still picked them up. Just because you can't see it, if it's the physical object's still there.
Yeah, who knows?
The realism, they I don't know, they skipped a couple of pages.
Yeah, I wish they didn't even mention. I wish they would have never even mentioned radar.
They didn't need to at all.
No, that would have been totally different.
Let
me break this up, because we're definitely going to go into spoilers right now. So if you don't want no spoilers, turn this off. And
go watch the movie.
Yeah, go watch the movie right now. All right, now this is going to be the spoiler review of Wonder Woman 1984. Right off the bat, the first thing that we see in this movie is a little Diana, little Wonder Woman running around back on her home island. I don't even know what that place is called. Wherever she's from, with all the other Amazonians, Amazon women. I guess they're having a race, Olympic type race. How would you guys describe that?
Yeah, it was kind of like testing the top warrior athletes, kind of event going on, kind of like Roman Coliseum style, but not battling to the death or tigers or lions or
just
anything.
Just a race
Yeah.
on horses. And
Kind of flexing the best of the best.
it's kind of like American Gladiators in a way in the beginning.
Yeah, I think it's like a American Ninja Warrior.
Yeah, no, exactly. Yeah, no, for
but
sure.
with
No, totally.
horses and
Yeah. It was fucking badass.
yeah.
It was just really cool. It's just showcasing how little Wonder Woman becomes full on badass later down the road. I mean, dang, she was. It was cool. Not only was she like fast and strong, she was also smart.
Yeah, intelligence was on point.
Oh yeah, it was great. And it made sense, even though this little girl is obviously so young and tiny compared to the actual women, full-grown women that she's going against. That she used her brains to get where she was going. No, that was really well done. Showing the rest of the Amazon women too, just in their badassness,
Right.
was really cool too as well.
And that's where their empowerment comes from. Like
Yeah.
what little person doesn't see that and says, "Hey, even though I'm small, I
Oh,
can
yeah.
win that race.
Oh yeah,
I can outsmart this person."
no, it was so awesome. And then she didn't give up. When she fell off the horse, she kept
Yeah.
going.
Right.
She didn't cry about it. She kept going. That was awesome. That was really cool. That got me hyped for the rest of the movie. After that race, that she obviously doesn't win. Does it jump right to her into working? She's already working.
Yeah, she's. Oh no, it goes into her saving people in town. She kind of does the Spider-Man thing.
Yeah. Yeah. The scene at the mall. What do you guys think about the scene at the mall where she is saving people and doing the Spider-Man thing?
I didn't like that aspect of it. Seeing her go toe to toe with Superman, like seeing her go toe to toe with
That hasn't happened yet.
knowing, okay, not in this movie, but
No, that hasn't happened yet though.
like seeing what she's capable of though.
Uh-huh.
Like, it was kind of disappointing in the fact that she
But you have to realize she holds back because she doesn't want to kill them.
no, not disappointing in Wonder Woman. I'm just saying in that scene, I don't know, her continually wrapping these guys up, throwing them up. She threw them up against that glass like barrier on the second floor of the mall like 4 times.
Uh-huh.
It just kind of felt repetitive after a while. Almost like, okay, put them down.
Huh. You're weird. I thought it was really cool. I thought it was really well done. Especially, I mean, the fact that she's in the mall, a superhero is in the mall, stopping everybody, but not ruining the whole mall at the same time. I feel like that's exactly the right. That's what would happen if her being safe, and I feel like that's why maybe it seemed repetitive because she couldn't just throw him through a glass window, and then drop him on.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't know what the alternative is. I don't know. At some point expected her to, I don't know, throw him into the ball pit or something, and then the security guards run up, and then they got those 2. I mean, there was a total of what, 6 guys or something like that.
About 6.
And I felt like she stopped them each like 3 times each, and it just seemed like, okay, like, are you gonna do this all day? And then and then not only you say she's being safe, but she throws them off the roof onto a police car,
No, that's true.
crushing the police car.
Yeah. I mean,
and probably their vertebrae.
And almost like I don't know, glass probably hit the cop standing right next to the car. So
yeah. Well, she. And then another thing, if you didn't notice too, I paid attention to this part where she wasn't trying to do too much damage in front of the kids either.
yeah, and
Right, so-
you definitely can see that she's obviously that she could break these guys. Like,
Oh, yeah.
it's not a question of that. I don't know. Maybe.
You're being too picky, I think, on that part.
I don't know. If you didn't know any better, I feel like they took a page right out. Like, I've seen Spider-Man do the exact same thing 50 times.
In the mall too. Probably
Has
in
he?
the same mall.
Has he? I don't think so. Spider-Man hasn't been in the mall.
He may not have been in the mall, but I've seen him swing, come up, wrap some
It's a
guys
superhero,
up,
man. It's a
throw
superhero
them up
movie.
against the
I
thing.
think you're being a little bit too hard on that part.
I don't think
It's a superhero
so.
movie. They all do that. But do they do it differently? No, you're right. I will agree with you. They didn't do it right. But I felt like, yeah, superhero movie. I'm not going to say I loved it. I don't think it was like any revolutionary type scenes in a superhero movie. No, but it was whatever.
And
Yeah.
then the security guard pointing the guns at the guys running up the escalator.
That makes sense.
That kind of bothered me though.
Why?
That bothered me very.
You-
My gosh.
And
Why?
pulling out a gun and pointing in
yeah.
a crowded mall.
Oh, yeah. That probably happened a lot back in the 80s. Like, it didn't matter. Until stuff became more tightened up where you couldn't do that. So that's why I think that's why they also did that in the 80s, because it was a lot different.
I was just waiting. I was waiting for him to shoot.
Me
like
too.
it felt like the second or third, one of the last times he did it, I was like, he is about to shoot a child.
Oh no, no, it didn't happen though. That would have been really sad.
At that time, I was questioning what I would do if I was a bystander.
Yeah, no one tried to help.
In that.
No one tried to help.
Yeah, no.
That's one thing I didn't like, was that no other human bystanders were trying to do anything to help.
Well,
Especially if there were 6 of them and she has her hands kind of full,
right,
kind of doing it.
and that's what I mean. Like when she would recap, because they were like in pairs. So when she would recapture too, I was expecting then the security guards to show. I mean, they have weapons, so I was expecting like after the second time, like they've gotten there by then.
No, that would have been a good scene to do. But I think what they're also trying to show us is that humanity was just selfish. Maybe that plays into it later, but we'll get to that. We'll definitely get into that part. But we find out that she's working at that museum type job where she's those big long words. I don't know what the heck they are.
Smithsonian?
Better than an archaeologist.
Yes. Yeah, she's working at the Smithsonian Institute in Washington, D.C. And that's where we meet Cheetah. I don't even remember. Barbara.
Yeah.
Her right off the bat, her character, she was that nerdy loser museum character.
Yeah.
Glasses, typical.
I loved it.
No, she did good. She played really well. It's really cool that she wasn't very, like in most movies, seeing her in not Wedding Crashers. I mean, Bridesmaids.
Yeah.
And I forgot what else she's been in. Everything she's been in Saturday Night Live. Like, she was funny, but she wasn't overly funny. It wasn't too much, which I was assuming they were going to push that on her, since that's kind of her strong point. I'm glad they did not do that.
Yeah, that's one of the things I was most impressed about.
Yeah, no,
she nailed her role in the movie.
Yeah, and it was cool seeing her and Wonder Woman kind of like being weird in the beginning, becoming friends, which later turns out obviously they end up fighting each other. But the whole movie is about the stone that they find that grants wishes and makes wishes come true. And then we meet Maxwell Lord, just a car salesman type character on TV.
For sure.
Black gold, trying to something to do with oil. I kind of don't really.
Yeah, a Ponzi scheme for oil.
Ponzi scheme for oil, yeah. So Pedro Pascal, if I'm not saying his name right, I'm sorry. But Mandalorian guy, he was really good.
Yeah.
I liked him a lot in that movie.
Yeah.
His character development, too, was really well done.
Yeah, I think I would have liked to see how they portrayed his past.
Yeah. I
would have liked to see maybe glimpses of that in the beginning, just to kind of get a better idea. But he another great casting. He knocked it out of the park. I really like that his voice always surprises me. He sounds way different than he looks.
Yeah, for sure.
And so it's really cool to see him kind of in these different roles now that he's kind of had a chance to shine. His character development, it was really well done.
No, yeah, it made sense. What was I going to go into? So this stone grants wishes and makes wishes come true. Wonder Woman, Diana, gets it and wishes back Steve Trevor, which we now all find out how Steve Trevor came back into this movie.
Yeah.
Does it make sense to you guys?
Go ahead.
Well, when she touched it and she wished for the only thing that she couldn't have, which is love.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
you saw the picture, like a freeze frame when they go back to her apartment.
Yeah.
It's a picture of Trevor next to his beloved plane.
Yeah, yeah.
And so.
Which I really thought was really well done. All the pictures of her.
Yeah.
With all from the first movie, with all of their friends, all old and her still young.
Yeah.
I thought was that's a really good detail.
Yeah.
That's a really good detail that they added.
Yeah, that's really cool. As far as how they bring him back into this movie and how that was done, I think it made sense. It was kind of weird that it was like he just took over some random guy's body.
Yeah.
So that aspect of it was kind of weird, but no, I mean it made sense. Having watched the movie now, I question. I mean, I get why he had to be brought into it because she had to make the wish, and you touched on humanity and selfishness, but I feel like he didn't make the movie better. His character being brought back to me didn't make the movie.
Well, I think
better.
it made her story. It made her story and what.
It was the connecting rod, if you will, to her in the story. But I
don't know. I feel like that made a lot of a character development for her and why she's still being Wonder Woman. Because obviously, I feel like over a time period, you would be kind of sad and upset. You as a superhero trying to live a normal life, and I'm pretty sure that's all she wishes she would have done with Steve. But then she realizes he's really had to die and he's gone, and she has to be Wonder Woman because that's who she really is. So that's why I like that. I like that part a lot. You don't feel that's a real thing, like what I just said?
No.
That's weird.
I think that him coming back made her weaker as a character. She seemed instantly less interesting while he was on screen.
Because you don't like the love part?
It's actually, I thought it was refreshing to see the love aspect of it, as opposed to like the more traditional like Aquaman kind of thing, like, strong female character, main character, or in this instance, strong female character and a guy. But I feel like I feel like the movie moved away from that strong, empowering, women's thing.
Well, I mean, that comes full circle later down.
Yeah, it comes full circle, but she becomes like instantly more emotional. She can't in the first movie, she's able to put aside her personal thoughts, feelings, and beliefs to do what needs to be done.
She never had love before then. That's nothing.
I feel like, okay, so if that was a male character though, would the love aspect of it be pushed that hard? Because I feel like I
think so. And that has happened before in movies.
In a superhero movie?
Oh yeah, Thor. He never knew anything until he met Natalie Portman's character.
Okay,
yeah,
that's
the same thing.
His love for her didn't cause him to almost ruin the world. Like
that's not true.
He was willing to do what he had to do. Like, she's wandering around Earth, and he's like, I can't be with her right now because there's bigger things going on. Diana was basically saying, like, well, hold on. I mean, the world might have to get worse because I'm not ready to give this up yet.
I don't know. I don't think we saw that too much of that part yet.
She was ready to lay in bed all day when there's things to happen.
This is true, but did she really actually do that, though? No, she didn't do that.
The last 45 minutes of the movie is her trying to find out a way to take down the bad guy so she could keep him.
Yeah, but she was still doing it, though, is what I'm saying, though. She was still doing it. She was just trying to find a way not to do.
Yeah, but as soon as they had that first conversation, though, you knew it was inevitable. Of
course. I know. They were foreshadowing lots of stuff.
Like, even as a character in the movie at that point in time, like, you just knew that there was no way. Like, she knew it, and she couldn't let it go. And for me, that just kind of detracted from the strong woman warrior that she was. I feel like somebody with that sort of upbringing, granted, I get the love aspect of it, but I mean, we're talking about the world, the fate of the world.
We really didn't know that yet until later.
It's another problem that I have with the movie, but
we'll get there.
I think you do.
We'll get there. So after getting this stone and then her wishing Steve Trevor to come back, he's back, and Barbara, Cheetah character, she wishes that she could be like Diana, and she gets her powers, and that gets her that powers over consumes her and makes her into a bad guy, and then Max Lord ends up getting the stone and starts making some wishes. And then he actually fuses with that stone. He becomes the stone, and that was his wish to become the stone. So now anyone that touches him can grant wishes. And he was going around manipulating people to make wishes, where he would in turn get something from them to control the world. That premise alone, what did you guys think about that?
I actually really appreciated that. I wish they would have. The only thing that I wish would have been different. I feel like his path started off meager. Like, he just wanted his son to be able to respect him, for him to be able to stand strong, have some money, power, and respect. And then it quickly, obviously, escalates when you get the ability to do whatever you want, to have that drive for more. The only thing that I wish they would have done,
I wish you could have enjoyed it more.
yeah, I felt like it just once it took off, it was just like
More.
accelerated. It was just like, well, hold on, what's the actual point here? Like, what are we going for?
Yeah.
So, but I like the premise of it for sure.
Yeah.
That backstory should have been way earlier, and we could have got what his ambitions were, why he was so angry, so
Right.
Yeah.
starstruck, so hungry for power.
Yeah,
We didn't learn that until 2 hours in.
yeah,
it's
way
a lot
into the
later.
movie.
I kind of like that they didn't do that right away. I wish you could have did a little bit more in the beginning,
Yeah,
but I kind of like why they didn't do that later down the road. Eventually, he takes over the White House. We see to me, a horrible Ronald Reagan. The guy did not look like Ronald Reagan at all.
no, he did not.
No, his face wasn't droopy enough. That sounds really bad.
His face was pretty droopy.
Ronald Reagan's was, but I don't think the actor.
Yeah, no.
him.
When he first came on screen, I was like, is he trying to be who I think he's trying to be? I hope not.
Yeah, I was like, oh man, not good. But sorry. Oh shoot. I don't know how much more to talk about the movie. The fight scene where Barbara actually becomes full on cheetah, and we were talking about earlier the CGI. I thought the fight scene was kind of cool. I thought the fight scene was really cool. Obviously, eventually that Steve Trevor has to go, so Diana can gain back her powers, because I guess that's what happens when you make a wish, that you lose something that you love or care about the most outside of your wish. I thought it was very interesting about seeing a Wonder Woman weak, not having powers. Like in a superhero movie, we all know they should never lose, right?
Right.
Like, what the heck? How the heck does this happen? But to me, this made sense. The fact that she got shot, she's actually bleeding. We don't ever see superheroes bleed.
Right.
The fact that she actually got shot, unlike some Star Wars movies where, you know, the stormtroopers are shooting their guns off a million times and no one gets hit.
Yeah.
The fact that no one. The fact that she got hit, I thought was like, finally.
Yeah.
Like, yes, this is real.
And I like that they didn't explain it beforehand. Like,
Yeah.
you weren't quite sure why. Like, she started the fight off super strong,
Yeah.
and then she got hit, and then it was like, you know, yeah. She pushed that truck sideways down the highway at like 65,
Yeah.
and then a few minutes, you know, as later on in the fight, she couldn't even separate the two trucks. She was trying to push them apart. And at first, I was like, what in the hell is going on? But, you know, yeah, I like, it was like a gradual thing. It wasn't like,
boom.
right.
You're immortal now.
Like, what is that? Hancock? Or whatever, when he gets too close to the girl, you know, it was like a gradual thing. I thought that was really interesting.
No, they did a really good job at that.
It started with the migraines, if you could see.
Yeah.
Just started touching.
Yeah.
Started with the migraines, and then, hey, give me my vitamins. And
Yeah. No, it was really well done. No, it was really good. So after they have their fight scene, and she gets her powers back, and Steve goes away, unfortunately. So I guess we're never going to see him again. Maybe some flashback scenes going forward. I thought it was a pretty good goodbye. I mean, they didn't need to spend too much time on, which I loved. They didn't like make it a drawn out thing,
right?
Which I loved, the fact that they didn't like, oh, I'm gonna hold you.
Yeah, it was like, okay, like in the midst of all of this pandemonium, you know,
let's waste this hour looking into his eyes into the sunset and say goodbye.
It was like they both appreciated the little bit of extra time that they got.
Well, they spent the time on the fireworks scene.
Yeah,
that's the extra time.
In the beginning,
yeah. No, it was cool. It was, and that's the part I'm talking about with the whole love story stuff in this movie. I appreciate it because it wasn't the whole movie, and the fact that the stuff that we did see made sense. So yeah, we want to go after that. So yeah, it's her and Cheetah are fighting because she's trying to stop Max Lord from projecting his wish thing into the world and making the world go crazy by everyone having wishes left and right. Which one thing that I do like a lot is the fact that there's repercussions of what happened with the wishes. Because, you know, it's kind of like in typical superhero movies where the world's going to shit. We don't really see too much of it going to shit.
Right.
And individually, certain different things. It's really just one big thing.
Right.
Yeah, which I liked a lot in the superhero movie where we got to see multiple things happening. And little things, too. It didn't all have to be big.
Yeah.
Like the guy wishing that girl would dying, right? They drop dead.
Right, yeah.
And that actually happened. And it wasn't too, like, I don't know, just exactly that. It wasn't too flashy. It was just exactly that. But yeah, so she's trying to stop Maxwell from broadcasting to the world to all make wishes. That fight scene was really well done, even with the CGI kitty cat.
Is Wonder Woman impervious to electricity?
I don't know.
I mean, I know she was swinging on the lightning bolts,
Yeah.
but like when that power wire like hit the water, like I was kind of perplexed as to why just Cheetah got fried.
Well, Cheetah also changed her powers from having Diana's powers to this Cheetah power, though. I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah.
And I can't talk too much about Cheetah's powers in general because I really don't know. I don't know. Was she wearing her gold armor at the time
Not at that time.
in the water?
Yeah. That
Not
whole
the
fight,
wings.
not the wings, but she had the suit on.
Yeah. So I don't know. Maybe that's some type of
It was just an
conduit
interesting
conductor thing. I don't know.
I noticed. Yeah.
But like I said again, she did get all her full powers back though, and the Cheetah, like I said, wasn't a full on Wonder Woman at all though anymore.
Right.
So that maybe that's that. That's all,
Yeah.
That's all I kind of like.
Yeah, that's why I was just asking if she was impervious to it. Like
Yeah,
I said,
I don't know.
because when she swung on lightning bolts to get there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I mean, maybe there's an element to that
Yeah.
that I'm just not familiar with. Not as a knock,
Yeah.
but it was just an interesting note that they were both in the water.
Yeah.
So
No, the fight scene was pretty cool. I kind of wish we got a little bit more of the fight scene, but then again, I kind of like it where movies aren't drawn out a whole long fight scene. I don't know.
I thought there could have been a little more hand to hand.
Yeah, but then again, Cheetah was actually like a combat.
Well, no.
person either,
So
though.
like not in the beginning of the fight though, when they fight in the White House.
Yeah, that was good.
I felt like they gave Cheetah too much fighting experience because she was like, I mean, they were going like hand to hand, almost like choreographed. And it's like, she's been training for hundreds of years to be this warrior.
Yeah.
But then in the end, I wish when, she had their full on Cheetah powers for it to be that primal,
Yeah.
like a lion versus a man sort of thing. So just a little more hand to hand at the end.
Yeah.
It was still really well done. I didn't leave it missing anything.
No, not at all.
So
Not at all.
they did a good job.
Yeah. So then after she bypasses Cheetah and then she gets to Maxwell where he's broadcasting to the whole world about making wishes and whatnot. The fact that she's just talking. She can't get to him because he's using whatever powers he has at this time to not get close, which they kind of didn't describe that. I don't know.
Didn't.
No, I don't know what he was in that. I don't know.
Vortex?
Yeah, some type of vortex of some sort.
Yeah.
Where was he going, though?
Yeah. I don't think he was going anywhere. I think the wind was just kind of like picking him up. I don't know. It was really weird. I don't know. But that was cool. Those weird evil villain type powers that we don't really
Yeah.
Right.
get into too much. But she's trying to plead with him, beg him to stop doing this, and she's trying everything possible to stop him. She can't physically do it because of the whatever force fields around him, and then she actually she's like talking to him about why he's doing this and why he shouldn't be doing this. She gave a whole long speech. I can't even begin to say this speech. It was such a good speech. Then you find out that she actually has the lasso of truth tied to him, and she's actually using him as a conductor.
Which makes no sense though.
What do you mean?
So she was using the whip trying to get to him, and the vortex wind thing he had going around, she couldn't get close to him.
Yeah, but so what happens if cause I was paying
Did I miss something?
Yeah, you did. So I was paying attention to that too. So she kept doing it, and it went, but then it fly out, fly out, and then she like tried this really. Sorry, spit. She tried really hard this last time, and it cuts. We don't see it.
Right? Yeah, because she's like winding it up. Yeah.
Yeah. So we didn't get to see the full on, which I mean, it kind of makes sense because you have to. The whole speech thing wouldn't make any sense.
Right, and
So,
they also don't explain that he's on the thing that's projecting everywhere.
Yeah.
After she knocks down the camera, they don't explain that why he's standing on that blue thing.
Yeah.
That's where like where was he going? It
Yeah,
looked
that
like he was
force field
like,
thing.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
I'm assuming that was a thing
A beam of.
that was going up to the satellites and then projecting those particles down.
Oh.
I'm assuming
Yeah,
that
yeah.
that's
See, I
what.
didn't get
No,
that.
you're totally right. I
That's
totally forgot
that's
about
why
that
she
part.
was able to, with the
Yeah.
lasso tied to him, talk to the world.
Yeah.
Is because it was projecting through that thing through him.
Yeah, and so her speech she was saying to him, which was projecting his ears and eyes too, I guess.
I don't know how that would work, but I mean him being on there, I guess.
Because remember, the lasso of truth makes you see things too and hear things.
Yeah, but I think when she was flying and she learned how to lasso against the densest of particles, which is a cloud,
Yeah.
she learned to maybe latch onto
Whatever
particles
that-
from like rays,
Yeah, who
maybe.
knows?
Okay, so hold on. So when she had the lasso tied to his leg,
Yeah.
all of the screens and everything that he was originally on TV on were that gold color.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
So I'm assuming that her being attached to him in that thing, it was allowing her to project herself.
Yes, correct.
Yeah.
Mhm.
To the people.
Right. Through her voice and
Yeah,
and the lasso of truth
Yeah.
being on everybody so they could all see it as
Yeah,
well.
Yeah. Which I thought was, I mean, it was kind of weird how it got there, but when it got there, it was really cool.
Yeah.
Like, it made total sense.
Yeah. And I feel like that's one of those things, if they would have explained, it would have taken away from the
Yeah.
movie.
It could have taken like another minute.
Yeah.
Like 1 more minute. Besides that, no, I feel like they did a really good job with the ending. You know, in a typical superhero movie, she would just superhero out and just take him down. Like,
Right.
fight, like, you know, just fly through that force field and just knock him out. Okay, it's done. But the fact that she used her words, message right there
Yeah.
in itself right there. And that's what another thing is why I liked the superhero movie, because it wasn't, like we were back at the beginning, this was not your typical superhero movie. She didn't use her powers to defeat the bad guy. She actually used her words, which I thought was really cool.
Yeah.
I
just the only reason I have an issue with that is because in the beginning of the movie they talk about how truth is the most important thing, not taking shortcuts, which ties well into the Max Lord. He's trying to take the shortcuts to fame and riches and all of that. But I feel like the message should have been a little bit different. The way that she did that, like we talked about, she wound up. You don't see her latch onto him, but it looks like she sits down and quits because she like gets knocked back and then she's just laying there and then she just starts talking.
Yeah, and I think that's what makes that seem even better because we don't know. And the fact that she's talking, because you think she gave up, and she's talking, and like, oh, she's going to die right now? That's the last word she's going to say. But then you realize, no, she was doing it.
I get it. It just didn't hit that way for me. It just seemed
He has no heart. He has
as
no
much
heart.
as much as I like that they don't go into detail about everything. There's just some things that I feel like I need to see to just know what's going on. Like I said, it was really cool that they didn't explain that she was losing her powers right away, but then explaining to why in the like nuclear missiles have launched and she's just sitting crisscross applesauce talking to me on screen. Like I need to know a little bit more, I guess, in that situation.
He's just used to Marvel hand feeding him.
No,
a
actually, I'm
spoon
telling you,
and just fucking with you. It's not-
I
it's not gonna put
I
him-
appreciate the way that they did it. I just felt like maybe it just wasn't fully done.
I
Like
didn't care.
because I feel like if her speech at the end tied into, tied into more of not taking shortcuts. They kept talking about truth, but that I feel like in the way that they were describing it, it was such a vague thing. You know,
I don't
dig
know.
deeper. Show me
sh-
flashbacks of her sliding through that well and not hitting the arrow things.
Do you
Well, see,
believe
I think
this pandemic has anything to do with maybe the vagueness or
I
the
think so.
different ways that maybe the directors or the visionaries wanted the movie to go?
I think so. I felt like I said in the beginning, I felt like maybe this is a symptom of the pandemic. Because like I said, Marvel's been on a wave. I mean, they've been killing it as far as what they've been doing. And this movie just felt like it had a couple of miscues, a couple of stumbles. Not that it's a bad movie at all. I'm not gonna sit down and watch it again though.
Damn, I'm gonna watch it again in theaters.
Yeah, I'll
I can't
definitely
wait.
watch it again.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I enjoy this movie. Like I said, it is a different type of superhero movie.
For
and
sure.
the fact that she's not having to superhero out on the bad guys a lot, which I really like. Which is that's different, and I feel like that should be seen a little bit more And it's something I wasn't expecting. That's another thing I don't know. That's one thing I liked a lot, that I wasn't expecting a lot of this to be in the movie or the way the story was told. So it kind of got me that way, made me like it a little bit more just because of that. Maybe you were, like I said, maybe you were just expecting something totally different.
I don't feel like I was. I liked the direction and the cues that they took. I just felt like they just weren't fully cooked, I guess. Like, I felt like the foundation for this movie is really good. I feel like even though I didn't necessarily agree with the love aspect of the movie, it was a nice surprise. I just felt like there were portions of it that just weren't fully cooked. Her not being able to let go, even when, the DC was rioting and the world looked like it, even though the nukes hadn't launched yet, the world looked like it was coming to an end. And she was like, nah, maybe there's a way. It just kind of felt like, come on, like, let's do what we need to do.
I liked it.
I'm
not gonna say it's I'm not gonna say it's the best either, though. I enjoyed it very much. I definitely want to watch it again. And then, I don't know, I would suggest you watch it again, and maybe you might pick up those cues a little bit more. I don't know, maybe to me it just hit me more in certain places where maybe I could just look over those certain things. I don't know, which is quite possible. That speech just got me. I don't know why I wanted to cry during that speech.
No, dude, it was really emotional.
Speech was just so damn good.
Can I ask a question?
Go ahead.
So, again, not that this movie has to tie into a bigger universe or anything like that, but I felt like this movie kind of, like, it was able to wash its hands completely clean at the end, because Max Lord, like, he gets away with it. We don't
really know that. We don't really know any of that yet. We just didn't see it, but
he gets back with, the fact that I didn't see it means to me it didn't happen, unless they're going to make Wonder Woman 1985 and then he's like on trial.
Oh, this fucker.
He has to be on trial for.
Oh, and everyone knows it was him.
Yeah.
His face was across the world. It's not like they got erased. And I'm kind of glad they didn't do that. I would have been pissed.
I also thought, like, if all the wishes were gone,
yeah,
why was there still debris on the White House lawn?
Yeah, that is a good question.
That's a good question. Well, and it didn't work necessarily as a vanishing trick either, because when the nukes disappeared,
they just kind of
disintegrated into, like, it wasn't like a full erase.
And I actually did like that, because I hate movies just magic wand.
Right, yeah. Nothing ever happened. Like, you go back to school the next day and, like, Russia's not mad at us, and
Yeah.
But I don't know. I kind of felt like the movie washed its hands. There were no repercussions to anything, that was going on. I expected the president to get back on, like, my fellow Americans, something happened.
I'm sorry that this happened.
Yeah, but and it just, I know you can't do everything in every movie.
Yeah.
But that was one thing I noticed. Like, well, hold on, Max Lord got away with it. Cheetah's fine. Nothing happened to her.
I thought the cut scene at the end, the credit scene, was actually going to be Cheetah.
Yeah.
Did you?
Yeah. I thought.
Oh yeah, she's still alive out there.
Yeah,
still alive out there.
I was excited. I was like, oh yes, let's get it.
Yeah. That'll be probably my only thing that I didn't like about the ending was that, you're right, there was no corruption, there was no consequences to what happened. It's weird because I feel like that whole scene of everyone recanting their wish, I don't know, I just liked it. And the fact everyone was like kind of feeling sorry and like realized what they'd done, every single person kind of just for me to wash over that, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it. I like that they went back and they hit on all the countries. Some guys were asking for more weapons, more missiles, more this, more that. I thought that was really good.
It definitely really kind of, to me as viewers, I feel like it should definitely unite us as humans. Like, we're all people, we all have problems, and I don't know. It was just really well done, I thought. But after this movie ends, we get this post-credit scene where the original Wonder Woman actress played her in the TV series. She's walking around on Earth, alive. So I was like, whoa, what does this mean? First of all, why did they do this? But I'm thinking about it some more. Because did you guys I don't know. You guys, obviously, I don't think you guys ever seen the original TV show. I never have.
It was like
I've seen
in the
clips
70s.
of it.
It was like
Yeah, I've
early
seen
mid 70s.
clips,
something
but
like
I've
that.
never watched a full episode or anything.
She looks great. She looks great. She
Yeah.
looks like obviously an older Wonder Woman.
She looks like an Amazonian.
Yeah, and it's crazy to me is like, so what does this mean? Is this going to be part of the Flash multiverse thing going on? Because now what they just showed us is that this woman is Wonder Woman and she's alive and she's in the same universe.
I feel like, yes, but I don't know. She goes by a different name, and she's older. They didn't recast her as a younger actress, so I don't know.
Oh, hold on. I'm sorry. Yeah, she went as Asteria, a legendary Amazon warrior who possessed the powerful suit of the wing armor. So she was the one that had the wing armor first.
Yeah.
So she didn't die.
No.
They said that she did.
Right. And so I don't know if that was just like a wink, and maybe this is like a team up that could happen in a future movie.
That'd be interesting.
But
They didn't hurry up and make that happen. And
I feel like
You talking about her age?
yeah.
I feel like with this movie dropping, and again, I know schedules are all messed up, but I feel like Wonder Woman needs to get back on screen quickly after this one. Not because it was a bad movie, but just because like I said in the beginning, I feel like this movie was almost too singular.
Oh yeah, just shoot, dude. Shoot. So we're gonna wrap this up. We're gonna wrap up the Wonder Woman review, spoilers and stuff. So now we're talking about going to the future of the DC Universe movies. We are getting the Snyder Cut Justice League in March.
Is it that far away?
Yep.
I thought we were getting it sooner.
Oh hell no.
No?
Oh no way.
March can't get here fast enough.
No. And it's just, supposedly this movie is gonna be a whole new reboot to the DC universe going forward now, allegedly.
I mean, I feel like the Justice League was supposed to be the springboard from the get-go. This was supposed to springboard their whole plan, so I'm game. Give it to me. Give it all. Yeah.
One note to mention though that Gal Gadot, she did not film any new footage for this movie. For the Snyder Cut, she's one of the actors. She's one of the people that didn't have to come back to refilm anything, which is kind of weird. But then maybe they just have enough from before where they don't need to. I told you there's like over 2 hours worth of footage that we haven't seen yet. So
yeah.
Maybe they just didn't need to save money.
My fear is that not a knock on Gal Gadot, not a knock on anything more than Wonder Woman just not being that interesting of a character.
I mean, I feel like we've already had her enough in other movies anyway. Let the other characters shine a little bit more.
Yeah.
In the Justice League.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I feel like they have to expand on the Flash since he's like the kind of the thing that all these other movies are going to be based off of.
The gatekeeper.
Yeah,
for sure.
And obviously Cyborg didn't get enough screen time, and so
he came back and filmed some more, so that's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is gonna be really cool. I'm excited for Justice League. This movie will hold me over until then.
But how is filming going to work? Are they just bringing in single actor by?
Oh, they already did it. They're done.
Yeah, they've been doing it.
Oh.
They started doing it like in end of 2019, beginning of 2020.
I don't really remember. I don't really know.
I know it's been in the work for a while.
But supposedly, like I said, this movie's supposed to come out in March.
How? You think in the theaters or just?
Is it back on HBO Max
again?
Which I'm now a subscriber of. So Marcy finally turned me.
No, they want to do both. Just like how Wonder Woman. I don't care. I'm gonna watch it regardless, no matter what. Just like this movie, we saw it here on our projector here, and I'm gonna watch it in theaters on Sunday. It's the same with Justice League. I can't wait to watch it. I gotta watch that in the theater. But yeah, sometime in March. That is the possibility right now.
I see you getting stoked, aren't you?
Yes, I'm getting so stoked because supposedly the Joker's getting a whole brand new look.
They keeping
Jared Leto, yep. He came back to film some more. Film some.
What do you mean? What do you mean by whole new look?
I don't know. No one knows. No one knows anything. They're keeping this really tight.
Yeah.
Yeah. We don't know. I'm hoping they don't erase his tattoos. I don't give a fuck about the tattoos.
The tattoos didn't bother me.
Yeah. I hope they don't erase
Was
his
that the
tattoos.
big problem with?
I don't know. I feel like people just shitted first of all, they didn't like Suicide Squad, which is fine. You didn't like Suicide
Yeah.
Squad, but you can't say you didn't like the Joker because we did not get enough of the Joker to get a full on.
Right. And they said that they cut so much out of. They said that they cut enough footage out of that for him to have his own movie.
Oh yeah, no, totally. For sure. They
From
did.
that, I think the only thing that I can't even knock Jared Leto's Joker because you just didn't get enough.
No.
Like there were quirks that I was like, but I feel like if we would have got the full-fledged character, I would have been like, yeah.
I mean, from what I saw, he caught my interest.
Yeah.
And the fact that I'm just that interested to see where this is going to go, that's good enough for me. I don't need,
Right.
like I'm on board to see him come back.
Yeah, no, I'm not knocking that at all. The only knock, and it's not on Leto at all, or the character design, just the story, how much he's actually in love with Harley Quinn, because in the cartoons, in the movies, in the comics, he is more than happy to let her die or get caught.
So
or
you
whatever.
need to watch the uncut version of Suicide Squad. I mean, I'm sorry. Yeah. Watch the uncut version of Suicide Squad. They explain way more in the uncut version.
I'll watch it.
Yeah, there's different scenes in there. You get more Joker, more Margie. You get more Harley Quinn and Joker together, and you see the parts that you're talking about.
Right.
Yeah, like him pushing her away, and he's like, "Ah, fuck." You have to watch it. Like
It sounds like it ties it up better.
it does.
Yeah.
There's probably
Okay.
10 more minutes worth of them interacting together.
Right.
So, and it's just them two on the scene too. which is
Right.
really good.
Okay. Well, I'm
Um,
always down. I'm always
mean,
down to.
Does it make the whole movie better? Hell no.
Right. Right.
But it makes their relationship different. Scenes together look a lot better
Yeah.
than what we originally got.
Yeah, because one of my favorite things about the Joker is he seemingly doesn't have a weakness.
Yeah.
Like he's just insane for insane's sake. And so that was my only knock. But if they provide a better background to that, I'm all for it. So
Stay tuned in March. That's gonna wrap up today's Wonder Woman review. Go check it out. Get HBO Max. Thank you for watching and listening. We're out of here.
Please subscribe to our podcast.
Oh.